Mad as a goat.
It's another episode of Mad as a Goat. Now today I want to talk about something that I've noticed about our society. Well, actually society in general all around the world. It's politics, okay? Something that pretty much all of us take quite seriously. When it comes to voting, we go into that booth and we make a conscious decision about who we're going to elect into power. But I've noticed something kind of strange this year. For instance, within Australia, our biggest news story about politics this year was a bunch of people retiring. That was the big story about politics this year. It wasn't about taxes, wasn't about fighting racism, it wasn't even about fighting the drug problem, which is just a whole nother rant on its own. Seriously, it's stupid, the drug war. It doesn't make sense and it hasn't done anything. But anyway, look at politics. A lot of the time when you see politics in the news, is it actually about politics? No. When it came to the 2008 election, I think it was in America, did they talk much about Obama's policies? Yeah, they touched on it, but for the most part they just talked about where he was from. Remember the whole oh, he's from Hawaii and all that, and they made a big deal out of that, and that was a couple of months of news stories, but his policies were just touched on. People focused more on the fact that he was a black man being elected than his policies. Now, that's not to say that Obama is, not a good politician or anything, because he has proven that he is quite good at what he does. In fact, that's why he was re-elected, because he's just that good at what he does. Now, a lot of people would say, oh, it was actually because he was black and, elected back in, it's a historical moment, la-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But if you actually look at what he's done, the legislation he's put in place and the work he's trying to do and the progress he's trying to make, he's actually a very good politician. Don't really touch on that, though. He's black, remember? That's what people mostly focus on because they're too stupid to actually look at what the man's doing. Give the man some fucking credit. The people out there giving Obama credit, kudos to you. You've actually looked up what the man is doing and understand the good he's trying to do. And in this country, our biggest story being, oh, a bunch of politicians retired and there was a bunch of squabbling between them. Ooh, there's a cat fight about to happen. That isn't important. Okay, touch on that. Make that a small little news story at the end. Oh, by the way, this happened. I want the big news story to be about how they made progress in race relations. They, made it easier for immigrants to become legitimate citizens. I want to see actual progress happening. But the progress that is made is only ever just touched on. Okay, they did that. Okay, move on. Look. Kim Kardashian is humping Kanye West. Now, yes, that is an interesting news story because it's kind of going to be weird if they have a child, and I think they are having a child together because it's one stupid person having a child with a stupid person. Now, this baby is either going to come out as a genius or it's just not even going to be recognizable as a human being. But anyway, still a story which is quite interesting, but you should only touch on because the key word here is news. News. Things that are happening. Important things that are happening. Do not make a week worth of news all about how, oh, they were squabbling. Oh, look, Kevin Rudd got stabbed in the back. Oh, we're going to have a female Prime Minister. Well, that's great. We're going to have a female Prime Minister, the first in Australia's history. That's fucking brilliant. Now let's look at her policies. Okay, we'll just touch on that and give you a few buzzwords. It's going to stop the boat people. That does nothing. If you want to know some facts here, I'm going to lay some facts on you. Boat people make up a tiny percentage of the illegal immigrants that come into this country. You know how most illegal immigrants get into this country? By plane. It's obvious when you think about it. I mean, it's 2013. I mean, they're not going to still be coming on boats. They're going to find other ways of getting here. Seriously, it's only people from third world countries who really need to be here because staying home is going to get them shot in the head or just buried alive. They're the ones that come here on the boat. So you're going to stop the people who are trying to get here for legitimate reasons and are most likely more than willing to become legitimate citizens just so they can live in a country that is safe. You're going to stop them. But all these illegal immigrants with billions of dollars who are just trying to evade, prosecution for all the people they screwed in their country, oh, they're fine. We won't stop the planes. We won't put, more security at airports. We won't do more background checks or anything like that. If Julia Gillard, during her campaign, instead of saying we're going to stop the boats, which immediately turned me off, it was just like, That's stupid. It's not the 1950s. Most of them come here by a plane. Come on, lady, just use this up here. Just use this. Not all of us voters are completely fucking stupid. Because that's how most of the time these people get into power, with their buzzwords. They just have to use buzzwords. Next election that comes up, watch the ads. Find out that there's not much about legislation or what they're going to do. It's a lot of buzzwords, moving forward, boat people, slimming down the population. Because yes, Australia has a huge problem with overpopulation. No, I think you're confusing Australia with Japan. You dumb fucks. Anyway, that's enough on that topic. I just wanted to give you my opinions on that. And hopefully you'll start thinking about it next time an election comes around. Look past the buzzwords. Yes, maybe Julia Gillard is doing a great job. Maybe she has made a lot of change. But they're not going to show you that on the news. They're going to show you the squabbling. They're going to show you how a radio DJ said some, tasteless shit about her dad or whatever. They're not going to talk about her legislation that much, because you only touch on that. The facts, you only touch on them because everyone is stupid. We're not all stupid. And guess what? Our generation is starting to look through the bullshit, because previous generations were like, look through their bullshit before you make your decision. So there's going to come a time when you get to an election and you try to use your buzzwords and everyone goes, we don't want to hear about that. What are your policies? No bullshit, no spin talk. What are your policies? What are you trying to do? And when that day comes, I don't even know what these politicians are going to say. It's going to be interesting to see. Anyway, see you on the Mad as a Goat episode preceding this one.